Yeah. Okay. We live. This light is just too much. Just a little bit too much. Yeah. Right. Like that, and then put it like this, and then put it there like that. So sorry, my light it's not so well. Yes. Hi guys. This is Carol. I've been away for a very, very long time. And I'm just here for some really disturbing news on my side. Really, really disturbing. And you have never heard me saying this. I'm kind of terrified in a way, but I'm going to say it exactly as I feel it. If anything happens to me soon, um, at least I have shared my thoughts. It's up to you guys what you do with the information I'm about to give. Because there comes a time in our lives when we have to express what we are going through in depths as souls, especially if you feel like your soul has been tormented by some secret movements that you don't know what they are. But then you can see them, you can feel them, and there is nothing you can do but just to really share your thoughts, share your feelings, and share a tear or two, because I feel like crying at this moment because what I'm going through is something really out of this world that I try to come back and focus on my spiritual journey, to focus on my daily life routine. But I'm being attacked by some forces that I never thought that I would never experience in my existence, and wondering why, really, why. Hmm? I'm crying about it because it's serious what I'm dealing with now. Human beings have been locked away from their home for months and months and months. And when we started with this 2020, in February somewhere, I was really ill, very, very illness that I have never experienced before. And we thought that it was just beginning of the year, and my friend as well was very sick, and we took this thing for granted. And of course, we found our way to come back to longevity as normal. Now, I'm just going to talk about this February, from December, January, February. I find out that lots of people were sick from out of the blue from some strange things. And it's only now that when people recall, because remember, we're living in the way that we just, as I'm talking right now, my throat is changing. And I want you to experience all these things that I'm saying. If I'm out of this world, at least I have shared my thoughts, because danger, it surrounds us. Danger surrounds you. And it's important that those who are experiencing things communicate. This mobile phone, these computers affects me. As you can see, my throat. I'll share some of the pictures. I'll make a movie and share it on this channel. Just sharing my experiences since March, really. Now, in March, we were told that there was going to be something called coronavirus. Suddenly, we were shown things in China, people falling from the street, people just walking and falling down, and it was something that we have never seen, as if we were watching a movie, really. And then we were told about, mm, the, what do you call that? The food that these people eat. We were shown things like snakes and all this, just to create, just to create a narrative, and this narrative for us to believe in it. And God, we saw it so far away. And I myself, because of I'm very, very much so much involved in health, I got very interested in this because I am a therapist. I've been working with people for years, and also being indigenous, I've always believed in my indigenous way of healing body, mind, and soul. So when Corona took place, I became very aware, and it was in China, and it was affecting everyone in China, and it was just after, you know, and it was around there's this Christmas time of the Chinese where they flock together in China to celebrate their traditions as if it's like Christmas, but the Chinese one. So of course the Chinese were traveling to the country. You didn't think about this when this happened. And suddenly the rest of China, Wuhan, went under lockdown. I'm watching these things, just watching as a member of the of the Earth, of planet Earth. My sleeping still perfect. Everything is around me. It's okay. And suddenly you heard that people came from China in Belgium, and they are all put into a hotel, and they are being evaluated. They're going to be quarantined for 14 days, and all these things. And suddenly hell broke loose, where they then said that we were going to go under lockdown in Belgium. This is March. So, of course, we went under lockdown. But me, on the other hand, I was not really socializing that much, as I just came from London. I was living in London, so I came to Belgium in October. So my socializing life was still very slow, as of course it takes me some time to come back. So I thought to myself, gather yourself, relax, prepare yourself, and then you can start going out there. You'll see my voice will start changing because this phone throws something like an acid, like it affects me. I have to struggle to breathe. You can see the lights as well. So there will be lots of strange things that you see around me. Now, this is why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video to talk and ask questions, and hopefully I get answers out there. Now, suddenly Corona was declared, and then what happened then? Yeah, this is much better. Yeah, even though it's still very early in the morning, so my video won't be so bright, you guys. So we went under lockdown, and then within 2 weeks of this lockdown, I started experiencing some strange things. And if you follow me on Facebook, you would realize that I started talking about things that I started experiencing as we were in lockdown. Me and William, my friend, I started in the middle of the night, I started smelling some strange things in the air, like really, really, like a kind of an acid, where I would wake up in the morning and I would start coughing. And I took this lightly, really. I remember even sharing videos of meditation, and finding my way to try to sink into my magnificent self so I could relax. And I was not even affected so much by this coronavirus because I knew that it was far away from me. It wouldn't affect me, as I was not really running around waiting for the unlockdown to come to pass. And but the strange thing, as I was dealing with these things, as we were waiting for this corona to pass, I was experiencing the most strangest things. Sometimes, as I'm sleeping, I would feel as if, firstly, it started with my neck. I even broke my computer, actually, my Mac, my desktop computer, because one day I was sitting there working with it, and I felt as if there was a fire going on my throat, and I thought to myself, "What is this?" And then my neck started breaking down. I don't know if you can see it. It's very dark, and it has some strange things around it. And I thought to myself, what is this? What is this? And that was just the beginning, really. I was not even aware that worse was yet to come. So I then started really sharing with people, guys, there's something in the air. So there's something in the air. And then it escalated. Sometimes I would swallow small molecules, and these molecules will go further towards my throat, whereby I've got these black things around my neck, as you can see them. And right in that space of hiding yourself in this house arrest, trying to escape from people infecting you. I was affected in my own home. And God, it went on and on and on and on. Sometimes when I'm sleeping, I would feel things like um what do you call this? Magnetic waves, like as if someone was uh, how do you say it? As if someone was using electrical shocks on me. And this was agony. It was painful. It was really painful. And so what I did then, I started running from one room to another in my own home. So one night I would sleep in a new room, will be okay for 2 to 3 days, and 3 days later I will experience this even worse than before. Then I'll move from one room to another, and then I started maybe closing my windows. It has been a nightmare closing my window with what do you call that? With and you will see I'll be struggling as I'm doing this video, so you can see what I'm talking about. At this moment, I'm inhaling this thing from this computer. Now, I'll tell you why I say I worry with this. I'm just going to put something on my nose so I can talk nice. I really don't care at this moment. At this moment, I have reached a place of saying, I really don't care what happens to me. Really, you as a human being, as a soul, you have to understand. I'm so sorry. Let me do this. Yeah. So, yeah, you'll hear me, guys, just to be able to speak without inhaling this bullshit. Now, as I was moving from one room to another to try to escape this thing, I would then start closing the windows with plastics, and I became like a crazy one, really trying to escape. And I realized that it was not really working. Then a friend of mine called me to Holland to come and have a rest in Holland. There, I traveled to Holland. She came and picked me up. And when I get to Holland, I realized that I was struggling with the same thing, and my neck was still very raw. I'm gonna tell you, because the neck is a very important part of the story. And then when I get to the Holland, I struggle with the same thing, the same smell in the night. But there was no radiation then. It was just a smell, a massive smell that made me wake up. Oh, no, no, no. There was also this radiation thing. I'm gonna put another one because I'm again still struggling with the smell, with whatever that I'm smelling in the air. And then what then I did, wait, I haven't been like this, you guys. As you follow my videos, you would realize this was never my language. I was never talking about stuff like this until 2020. Now, what happened is that I then, yes, in Holland, I started struggling again with this smell and with this electrical shocks. Again, massive pain. Come back to Belgium, realize that, my God, this thing, it's not only in Belgium, it's also in Holland. This is my thinking. And when I get to Belgium, I go through lots of struggling in my home. So a friend of mine, William, decides to get me a hotel. So this hotel, I can stay there. Probably will be better. When I get there, I struggle even more. But the good thing about this hotel, they had this interesting lighting, the spotlights. And I could see things flying in the air, like kind of molecules, small molecules that looks like dust. But as you are going through these things, your hands will be painful. Now, this was daily. And sometimes when I'm sitting on the table, I'll feel like things like electrical waves under my feet on the table, everywhere, everywhere. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. And I remember as I'm sitting there, a friend of mine came with a dog. And I didn't tell this really. I watched the dog, and this dog was suffering. It was sniffing the ground, and it was, animals, they've got a lot to tell us. And everybody really didn't take me seriously because they started thinking I'm making things out of your mind. And this is where I'm very, very intrigued about the human race. When things change in front of us, we take them lightly. We never really look at things deeply in researching, especially if we are in danger, you guys, because at this moment, every one of us is in danger. I say coronavirus, it's something that is made as collectiveness. It's something that affects us. But the mere fact it affects you, because you never know who's the victim, who's going to be the next victim as they prolonging these days of theirs, prolonging. So in that hotel, I stayed and I suffered. I suffered even more worse. And it was really getting so worse that I had to run. And a friend of mine gave me a place, this is a place where I've been living. And I got here and I lived for at least 2 weeks without any problems. I thought, yeah, I'm finally okay. 2 weeks later, I started smelling again this smell, and as I smell it, radiation came again. So I'm living in this space now, wondering where to run, where do I go? Because I'm still dealing with these things and they are getting worse and worse and worse. It's like we've got you, this is a feeling. And no one would ever listen to you because of you. It sounds crazy. Now, I'm making this video, you guys, to tell you that at this present moment, it's getting worse. It's getting really worse, where I get pain. Sometimes I wake up and my fingers are swollen up and my neck. So my neck, as I said, because I stayed here for that long, my neck was getting better. And suddenly I used this phone, which I'm about to give it up. And then as I'm using this phone, sometimes I swallow things. And this time around happens next to my friend. And I even say to her, I just swallowed something. And of course, my neck was okay. The second day, I had a bubble. I'll put this as well in the video that I'm going to make with imageries of all the things I'm going through. After I swallowed this, I thought to myself, hey, I got to make a research about this because there's something in this. So yesterday I used ice. I took ice cube, I put it there to melt this thing out, And I used about 3 ice cubes. And suddenly something came on the surface in this pain of mine, in this neck of mine. And as I was going through it, this thing, it felt like a wire, like a small metal wire, those soft wires, really, really tiny, tiny wire. So in the night, 2 days ago, I took a picture with this a thermal camera where you can see in the night, and it gives a blue. To my surprise, my neck area where this thing is, it showcased blue light, like blue light, really. And I thought to myself, wow. And then when I took this thing in the night, I took it because I was struggling. I was going through lots of pain. And I took it so I could see what was going on in the room, just to study my room. And my worst part is that as I'm struggling with this, the dog of the neighbor where I'm at, it cries like crazy. It cries and it makes these sounds at the end. Ooh, and then it will bark and will make this sound. Ooh, this very painful sound. And on the other side as well, the neighbors are walking around, especially around 3:30. And now I took that thing out, and there's still a little bit. And when I touch it, it's really very wiry. It's very painful. And I still left with a little bit to take out. Now, last night as I was sleeping, these pains are actually escalating. They are really escalating. And then there's something that it's like a smoke that I don't know where it comes from, but I wake up and it makes me feel like as if I have a flu, as if I have a massive flu. But I don't have a flu. But it gives you the sensation as if you have your sinus, It makes you feel as if you're about to get the most amazing fever you have ever had. But my inner body does not feel that. But it's just the sensation that I get around me. So what I'm saying is that we don't know what is 2020. I'm going to push this away a little bit. We don't know what is 2020. We don't know what it is about. But what I can say, I have experienced the most strangest things, the most dangerous things I have ever experienced. I don't know about other people, and I can't say it's me though, because some people have died. And I feel as if this thing now, I think it wants to eliminate me, whatever that is, because whatever the sharp lights. Now, I took some videos, you guys. I'm gonna share with you these things. So it's up to you how you analyze this thing. It's up to you how you analyze this video of mine that I'm sharing with you. It's not conspiracy. It is what I'm dealing with. It is not something that I took out there. It is exactly my experience. It's my most dangerous, scary experience in 2020. Being in this house arrest, you are in house arrest, but you are being tormented right in where you live. So my question is this the world where we are going in, where civilians are not safe in their own home? You get affected by some artificial intelligence that you can never figure out, small beams of light that are running around. So as I'm sleeping in the night, I see these beams of light because of that's what I thought. I thought to myself, there has to be something that hurts me. There has to be something. And some people call it witchcraft. And I say to myself, I don't think it is witchcraft. I think it has something to do with what the world has been. Suddenly they put G5G out there. And when you're sleeping in the night, now I sleep on the floor. I've left the room now so that because of the room, it's a little bit bigger so I can explore a little bit in depth. As I'm sleeping in the night, the earth, it feels as if it's shaking just where I'm at. Now I realize that this thing, it's a chip. I'll share with you a picture where you can see the light, exactly the light that the small ones represent. I have it right on my neck, and my neck has been raw for almost 8 months, going to 9 months, wounded without healing, and it has small holes around it, small, tiny, tiny holes. And these holes are the things probably that expose me to the light. So when this whatever nonsense that comes and do whatever that they do in the night, I'm a part of this. I feel as if I'm a part of the scientific study, on how to torment people. I feel that I've been used for this, and I'm saying it because of it is my experience. It's what I'm going through, and it feels like it's threatening my life, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say because I've never experienced anything like this before. And I'm getting so, it's just too painful. And those who are doing these things, they know. You understand? I can stay here and those who do not know, 2020 might think that she's imagining it. She's thinking about, it's in her head, all these answers of people answering. And I realize one thing. In life, when things are bigger to the minds of those who do not know, the poor humans, they can't answer. They can only give you their help. They can give you their voice, but sometimes because of they are powerless. They don't know what you're dealing with, and they don't know how to help you. You find yourself alone dealing with the most horrendous moment of your life, and you're thinking, why? And I realized that I'm very vocal. I'm vocal about us, especially we as Africans, because I realize that being an African, you are exposed to the danger of life. And there was a time when they were talking about they were going to do lots of studies for vaccine to the Black people. And I was very vocal on Facebook, and I said, we are not your testing ground. And I put it deeply on my social media, sharing my voice and not realizing that I was exposing myself to danger, actually, that I was going to be the one exposed to the danger that I'm experiencing at this moment. So I'm saying to you that it is important that we know that whatever that is happening, it's a script. It is something that it's planned. People have died. We don't know how many people are going to be dying. I don't know if I'm one of them, but with what I'm experiencing now, this thing, it's like, you are our puppet. You are our product. We will do whatever we want. And even when you die, your surrounding would think that you are insane. Your surrounding would think that you're going, it's all in your thoughts, it's all in you're imagining it. So you're all alone with this. You understand feeling of some people who think that they are above the law of mother nature, the people who think that they are untouchable. And my question is, the artificially intelligent, how far does it go? You understand? With these things we call um, artificial intelligence, how far does it go? How far can it touch you? How much can people be touched at this moment? Are we really the danger to one another? Because at this moment, I have never been affected by any human. Never, never. But I'm affected by unseeable powers, unseeable forces that bend you while you're sleeping in your sleep, and sometimes even in a day, because of they've got their hidden world of cameras, small cameras. You don't understand what I'm going through, and I'm saying all these things because of, and if they get to it, who's gonna get to this video, I want to say a message to you guys, those who are so-called are studying the human mind. You are studying our psychology. You are wanting to know about human race, as you have done to the marine world. These things that we are struggling with, this robotic world of ours. You have seen it in marines, where the poor animals are chipped in things so that they can discover how the depths of the marine life. How do they think? How do they make sex? How do they? So at this moment now, a human being got tired and said, hey, let's study those who are in our neighbors, our human beings. They don't do the studies to themselves. They're doing it to us. And I feel like I'm a part of it. And why am I saying this? I've taken lots of videos with my Thermal camera that has shown me lots of things from March. And this data, I'm about to collect it and make a video with it. I'm not going to be saying anything on it. I'm just going to be sharing my neck, my pains, all these things that I have been struggling with, all the things I've been saying. Starting from now, I'm going to collect this data and I'm going to share it with you guys. And some of you can also join me on Facebook. And I'm creating a group on my WhatsApp saying anti 5G, the questions around 2020. And in there, I'm going to be sharing all the things I've experienced. So this is Carol here, just sharing the world that we don't know. This the world that someone has to come and tell us where things will be fine. Where before we never really needed to know when things will be fine. We were just navigating and communicating with nature and letting nature control our movements. But today we are waiting. Everything is very uncertain. We are living in times of how do you say it? In times of there's no balance. We are very, very put out of balance, and we don't know really in times when it comes to our futures, our desires. How are we going to implement our desires? Some people are losing their businesses. People are committing suicide, and sadly, it's mentioned that this thing is all because of we are loved, and they're doing anything to protect us. But there is this dog. The poor dog will cry like this the whole day. And I always believe in nature. Check your animals. Check your surrounding. Check your kids. Check how you sleep. Check your bodies. Lots of people are struggling with pains in 2020. 2020, it's a warfare. It is a warfare. And I'm saying this because I have experienced war, and I'm still experiencing it. And I'm in the stage where I'm not giving up on life, but I'm saying sometimes when the serial killer is around you, there's nothing you can do but surrender to the beauty of life. And the beauty of life is that either we are dying or we are alive. We are still in the midst of the beauty of life. But when you are surrounded by serial killers who their job is to kill and eliminate society, to say we are controlling the earth is heavy, they know the weight of the earth. Wow, they had a weight to the earth. And at this moment, I'm feeling their weight. that they are sending out into the world, making the world scared, making the world empty. God wants movement. God enjoys when we move around and do what we do, because of we wake up in the morning and we say hi, good morning to God. We say good morning to nature, and then we go about doing our collecting the deeds of the day, because of we are all sent here as vessels, and everything that we do in a day, it's completing the message and the journey of life. But at this moment, the journey is cut, and sadly is that most of us, we don't see people dying. I have never heard of anyone who have coronavirus. What they have, it's flu. Exactly what I'm feeling. This morning I woke up, and it was in the mid of the night, and I could smell smoke, and this smoke makes you shiver. It makes me feel as if I'm feeling very cold, as if I'm about to get pneumonia. But after I use things like garlic to hit me up. I put it and I rub it all around me, and I rub it and I rub it, and in no time that thing it's gone. So meaning that there is a artificial intelligence. Ask yourself a question: what does that mean? How far does that go? Are you really in coronavirus? Because of all these symptoms that I'm feeling when I'm lying down are symptoms that you believe that I have corona. Pains in my joints, pains in, and it's like drilling. It's one at a time. It's a very, very concentrated pain that I get, as if something is facing. And these lights are very small. You can't see them. They're so small. They are so tiny that only the thin eye, when you observe a lot, you would see them. So this is me, Carol Matebula, asking what the hell is going on in 2020. And if I have to die, I am never ill. I'm very healthy. I'm very, very strong. But at this moment, I'm beaten up by the serial killers who wants to control the earth. And they use it with making us scared and saying, we can eliminate you. We can kill you whenever we want. And this is a war. That's how I'm experiencing it. I'm not talking for you. I'm not talking for you. I'm talking for me. For me, I've been attacked, and the attacks keep going on. So it's up to you now what you do with this information. I am the insider, really, really into the secrecy of this world, behind closed doors of coronavirus. Human beings individually, we find them dead. The 2 weeks ago, a healthy man went to sleep, and the next day he was declared dead. And people were shocked that he died, because he was a very healthiest man. So in this 2020, serial killers are highly up and running and making us afraid, saying we will kill you when we want to kill you, because of the weight, the narrative of coronavirus. COVID-19 has created a freedom for the serial killers to roam around and head us. And I say to them, fuck them. If they want to do anything to me, continue doing what you want to do. Continue showing your emptiness, trying to eliminate the heaviness on the planet while they rape animals. Recently, I saw so many ladybugs, the most beautiful, small flying saucers that are just here to do their duty of life. They were lying in the street in Antwerp, dead. And I wondered, what has killed these ladybugs? So this is Carol here saying, if I die, I will die myself. They will take the body, but they will never take the soul, because it's important for us to stay aware, to be aware that there is no corona. There is a script of some sort, that this house arrest, you go in, you can be the next target next week. You can be the next target for the next wave, because each and every lockdown, it comes with a certain wave, and I feel it. I don't know if it's these things that I have done on my neck for me to feel every fury of the happenings of 2020. So I shall say, have a wonderful day. This is Carol here, and one love. Stay well and stay vigilant in 2020, because the serial killers are up and running. God bless. using artificial intelligence through 5G, definitely.